Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am Bunty, aka the Photo Techie, and just a quick video today on a quick release system that I've been using for the last few years. It's the Manfrotto 323 quick release system. I'm sure it's 323. I don't know if quick release system is actually in the name. But let's say you're on a shoot and you're doing a handheld shot, and you have your things set up or whatever, and then you need to quickly do a slider shot. So I've been using this. Pretty simple. Comes out, there's a plate there and gets onto the slider, and you can do your slider shot. And now let's say you want to do a gimbal shot. Comes off, plate on the gimbal, put onto the gimbal, and you can quickly do a gimbal shot, and same way you can put it back onto your handheld rig. So comes it, and is secured here. So it's the reason I chose the Manfrotto 323, because there are other systems out there that you could use. The reason was because of the Peak Design system, the Peak Design plate, because I do use their slings and I do have the capture clips. So this plate, the Peak Design plate, I'll have the link for it in the description, is actually compatible with the Manfrotto 323 system, also Arca Swiss as well. Plus it works seamlessly with the capture clips. So that's the positive for this. So the Peak Design system, the plate works with either Arca Swiss or the Manfrotto 323. Now, the reason I went with the Manfrotto was because with the Arca Swiss, it doesn't have the latch to catch it. It will just go in. For example, this is Arca Swiss basically. So if I loosen this, the plate catches on, it won't fall out. But if I put the Peak Design system in there, it will go in, it will be secure, it's not going to go anywhere. But it doesn't have that extra bit of security. It will just go in and out because there are no, those little stoppers in the base plate to stop it, coming out of it. So with the 323 system, you have a lock that you can lock, so it's not going to get out. And in my experience, it's been pretty amazing. The Peak Design plate sits very flush. You lock it, it's not going anywhere. It's not going to get out. It's there. I haven't been able to confirm what the weight capacity of this is. I do think it's like, they say 3 kilograms, but I don't know. Like, I can't find it anywhere. It is a very secure system. I have used it with rigs. Yeah, I would say up to 3 kgs. I don't have I use a mirrorless system, so I don't have big cameras. And on the gimbals, I've used it on the Moza Air 2S, on the Crane 2S, and the Weeble as well, the Weeble S, I think so, the smaller one. Downsides of this is basically it adds height to your base. It is, a bit big, and also it has this at the back, the whole mechanism for this button, this sort of like a latch, it protrudes out. So when you mount it onto something, you can't you can't just mount in the middle of something, so it has to be on the corner. I'll give you an example, like on this Crane 2S plate, it has to be right at the end, because of these protrusion, the protrusion, this the spring and this screw that's holding this latch, it can't go in the middle, so it's like sort of sits at the back. You can easily balance the thing. The only problem is, let's say you have a much heavier lens and you've put it here and you need the lens support, then it's the lens support mounts here, you know, the lens support is not gonna support that lens, so you need to, I have found ways around it. I have something, it's not on me, but it's actually it was made for the DJI and the Red cameras, and it sort of like screws at the bottom and it's got the lens support there, so that's something that you can use. But you have to make sure that the, you know, the height, because it does need, you know, a lot of height. All in all, the system works really well. It has worked really well for me. Downsides, other downsides is, so the plate that comes with the Manfrotto system, they have this proprietary sort of, you know, the 1/4 inch screw in there, and it has this thing that you have to use to tighten it or loosen it, and it's sort of like, it's got this stopper, so you can't take it out, so you can't change this screw. It's a 1/4 inch, that's what you have. And what happened with me was this thing came off and got stuck, so which meant that I couldn't really, like, you know, there is nothing in there to use something to tighten it or loosen it, so I had to use pliers to get it off, because it was like one side was out of the groove. Then, you know, use the pliers to loosen it a bit, and then get them back into the grooves and use the plier again to tighten it. That was the only problem that I faced. But I actually, so I have the 2 Manfrotto ones, and I have one of these Utabit, it's called. So it's like an aftermarket version of the Manfrotto system, but it's not by Manfrotto. It's the same, exactly same thing. The finish is very similar. It's, you know, it does everything, you know, it does everything exactly the same, and it's much cheaper than the Manfrotto ones. But the good thing about the base plate that comes with this is you could actually take the screw out and put a different screw in. I think this camera, yeah, this is the base plate for the Utabit ones. They're very, very similar. It is just the fact that I can actually easily get the screw out and put another 1/4 inch screw through it. The Manfrotto ones, you know, if you can get this stopper that's stopping the screw coming out, if that comes out, I think you can put like a 3/8 inch in there very easily. As long as it's not thicker than the one that's already in there, it's gonna work, you know, with the plates. So yeah, so I've been using this. It's performed very well. Even the aftermarket ones have performed really good. It does have this foam kind of thing, so it doesn't, so when you put it in, even though it's only one screw, your camera doesn't rotate, like, you know, it hasn't happened to me. It could, you know, if you were to put a lot of pressure, that, let's say if your camera was on this system and you put a lot of pressure on the camera and stuff, yeah, it could, but it does stop it. So there are things there to stop it. And yeah, so positives, very quick switching between stuff. You know, you could have a handheld rig, you could have a slider, you can have your gimbal and a monopod. You know, I don't have one at the moment, but I do use it. So you can quickly go onto that. And if you are using the Peak Design plate, then that's going to help you with the capture clip. You can actually, you know, I use it on my bag and I can just put the camera in there. That really helps. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. Hopefully you find this information useful. You know, I can wholeheartedly tell you that these things work because I have used them for at least 3 years now. Yeah, so also, you know, if you use something else, it'd be nice to know how do you, you know, get away with having all these different systems on a day, and then what do you use? If it's not this, what other system do you use? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. Thanks.